Hi everyone, how are you guys all doing? Um, let's see, where am I? I hope you guys all have a great or have had a great day. Let me bring up Annie, who is with us today. There we
Yeah,
go. And I can see Herb and Sandra so far. Don't know how many other people are in there, but hopefully more will come. I am making sheep, three sheep, and so I have made. I've done a lot of cutting and painting already. So I have got the legs. Let me do this because I want to
yeah.
switch
You
over.
want to swap. There you go.
So I've got legs, I got bodies, I got yarn. Oh, and I have heads. There they are.
Oh, you
That
found the
are
footballs?
huh?
You found the styrofoam footballs?
Yeah, football for the heads. And then I have little ears I made out of felt, and then I have yarn. Oh, this really big yarn, really big. I need to probably pull that back away just a little bit. There. Yeah, so this yarn. So I've already hooked these together, but I'm trying to think, I need to put the yarn on before, well, if I do that then I can't put the legs on. What do you think? Should I put the legs on first?
Are the legs going to be white as well?
Yeah, they're white.
But you're not going to wrap them in yarn.
No. No, I'm not.
It might be easier to put them on. As far as putting the yarn on the body, it's going to make it harder with the legs. But it'd be easier, I think, to get the legs on. Although it'll just smoosh through the yarn. I think afterwards.
Put them on after because
Yeah,
it will have a skewer and I can poke it right
yeah,
through and
yeah.
glue it.
I think that'd be better.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a white sheep and a black sheep and then an off-white sheep. So this is, it almost looks blue, dark blue to me, but it is black. It even says black on it. In fact, it says, where does
Good
it say?
evening, Herb.
I
Good
know it.
evening, Sandra.
Huh?
I said, told Sandra and Herb good evening.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What?
I told Sandra and Herb good evening.
Oh, oh, okay. I'm sorry. My ears, um, excuse my ears. They are super um filled today. They're clogged up, and I can't get it unclogged. I keep doing everything I know how to do. And where's the end of this yarn?
Are y'all getting a storm?
We've been having storms off and on for 3 days now.
That could be the atmospheric pressure could be affecting your eardrums. Because
Oh,
mine would do
probably.
that.
Okay, why? Where's the end? Oh my lord!
Hold it up. Just hold it up, like with one
What?
hand, and give it a shake, and see if the outer
Oh,
end.
there it is. I found it. Jeez. The good thing is I only have to do just hook it on the end at the back. What am I gonna do with the end?
I
Oh, I'll
would go
put the
in
tail on.
between the. I would go in between the noodles with the very end, like slide it underneath that top one from one side to the other.
I can't. I glued it.
Oh well,
I
stick
was
it
gonna
in.
do this. I was gonna glue it in there and then start around.
That'll work, just so it's covered up.
Yeah. I will glue it around this the first go around, and then I will just wrap. see my nail. Okay, now I can just wrap. And only put glue occasionally.
You can really tell the color difference between those cameras. Because on the camera you're on where you're making it, where we can see your hands, it's like a really pale green. And on the one with your face, it's like neon bright.
Yeah, it is neon. The screen is neon green. My phone is the better camera, which is where you can where you're seeing my face.
There you go. You got it. It's going to say clear you had a glue strand, but you got it.
Yeah.
Or a glue hair, as I used to call them.
Yeah. Hot glue hairs.
Is that right? Love you. I'll see you in the morning.
And this hot glue gun is on low. It's still melting this a little bit, but it's not enough to make that big of a difference. So, you know the best way to get rid of the hairs if you don't catch them? Heat gun.
I'll just melt
them. Yeah, it takes them right off.
A lot of people here getting up in arms that our neighbor's dog has still not come back. It's not along the highway. It's on none of the roads. Nobody's seen it. It's not at the shelter. So we're assuming the coyotes got it.
Who?
The coyotes.
Probably.
And that was a farm. He's a pretty good sized farm dog. He wasn't like a little, little toy breed or anything. He was a good sized dog.
Yeah.
Which is why I keep telling Butthead to not go out of the yard. Does he listen? No. I have noticed, and this sounds weird, but my female dogs behave so much better than my male dogs.
Yeah.
Now, my female cats have been buttheads to me. I have never had a female cat that liked me. Now, they love Bill and Andrew and Anthony. And I was just like, I'm good with that. Because we always have two cats.
Yeah.
Cats need to be, they need a buddy. They're not used to being alone. They're not meant to be alone. And anytime we've had one, they always just seem like they was happy, healthier, and lived longer if they had another cat with them.
Since me and Ron have been married, we have only had 2 female cats, and one was not fixed, but she never had babies. She was afraid to go outside, and then we got another female, Calico, and she kept jumping on the other one's back and biting her skin off of her. She only lasted a few weeks after doing that. I'm like, I ain't putting up with that crap. Oh no, it went to the floor.
It was a dominance thing.
Huh?
Dominance.
Oh, I'm sure it was, but we weren't gonna put up with it because she was a kitten. The new one was a kitten, and she was biting and tearing off the older one, who was about 12, her skin.
I'm surprised y'all went to kill her.
Well, I was afraid that wasn't going to end up happening because she was getting really. I mean, it only happened a couple of times, but it got infected, and so I'm like, "You're done. You're out of here." I took her to the Humane Society. I said, and they said, "Well, why?" And I said, "Because this is what she's doing." And they're like, "Well, okay." I'm sure they euthanized her, and I was done.
We had to turn one female cat over. I took her to pound and just told them to not adopt her because she kept attacking the boys. And she grew up with them. They'd always been here with her. And the only one she liked was Bill. And she came across the living room one night and jumped on top of Andrew's head and bit him and clawed for no reason. He was just sitting on the floor watching TV. Wasn't anywhere near him. And I was just like, I told Bill, I was like, nope. I said, we'll have a cat that's attacking my kids. So
right.
First.
Well, that was what I was afraid of. I was afraid if she was going to be attacking the cat, who did nothing. And both of them were, well, the older one was not fixed, but she had never had babies. The younger one was fixed and had never had babies. So I'm like, no, I ain't going to do that. We're not going to have a cat like that in our house. So after that, I said, we're only going to have boys. I'm tired of girls. But that one, she lived till she was almost 15. We had her, we got her when she was about 7 from the pound. And they had checked her and they said she's never had babies, but she's not fixed. And, well, she was scared to death of being outside. So no wonder she'd never been around another cat, a male cat, to get her pregnant. And she refused to, she would not go outside, which was fine with me because I didn't want her going outside. So
I have to say, of all the cats I've owned, these two I have now have been the best cats.
Well, she was the best cat we ever had because she never jumped up on chairs. She never got on the counter. We never had to teach her. She just did not do it, ever. And so it was good, because Ron cannot stand a cat that jumps up on counters and the table. That drives him crazy.
When we had a coffee table, they would sleep on top of the coffee table, but they never offered to jump up on the kitchen counters or the kitchen table.
Well, Ron, my aunt said, she's doing it, you just don't know. I said, bull crap. I said, I would see signs of it. Footprints, something, and I didn't. Well, I have lots of black. Whew. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cover the ends then. So I've got enough.
Yeah, what? We are not going to be singing tonight, so don't even attempt to come over here. I have a headache.
I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you. I've had it. Anthony finally fell asleep last night at midnight. I had to be up at 4 because I had to be at the tire place by 6:30. So I could be the first one. And then things just did. It's not been a bad day. It's just been one thing after another kind of day.
Yeah. Mine has been my flipping ears.
And I have a headache in my right eye.
Yesterday I thought I had vertigo. But it didn't really turn into vertigo. And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's not vertigo. I took the medicine anyway, but uh, turned into it. I'm like, okay, that works for me. No vertigo is good for me. So okay, now we're gonna put the head on. Actually, no, I'm gonna put the legs on first. Need to cut some of these.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Bill a pair of those.
Yeah, they're called miter shears.
Well, he keeps looking at different people I watch using them. And he's like, those would be handy. Those, and I was sitting going, I wonder if that's a hint. Hey, I'd really like to have some of those. And if so, man, don't hint. Tell me, hey, go buy me a pair of those.
Right.
Because he has so many tools that I quit about 3 years ago buying him tools because I cannot remember which ones he's got. Cash is standing
Right.
out on the porch. Pete scared the crap out of the UPS driver. We normally, our UPS driver is this lady, and she absolutely loves him, always brings him treats and sits in place
Ah.
he leaves.
Uh-huh.
We had a young boy this time, and he went galloping across the porch and down the, I guess because he thought it was her, and he stepped off the truck and stepped right back on the truck. I was like, I said, he doesn't bite. I said, he just went to the pet him. He goes, oh, he said, I was bit 3 times last year. He said, I don't play around no more.
Right.
And I was like, don't blame you. I said, dog bites hurt.
Right.
I've been dog bit twice. Once by this old lady's dog that lived down the road from us. And it was a collie. And it would constantly, every time we go for a walk, it would like run out in the road and snap at us. And this time it happened, it latched onto my calf, and I turned around and grabbed it by the back of the neck, pulled it around and bit it on its ear until it let me go, and then it ran and hid under her house. And she comes stomping out there, and she looked at me, she said, did you bite my dog? And I said, your dog bit me first.
Right. Exactly.
Dog never bit me again. After that, we always had stopped and had Kool-Aid and cookies. She knew what time me and Renee and Jenny went for a walk. That was Renee's little girl. Well, she was a little girl then. And we go for a walk in the evening, and especially in the summertime. And every time she says, I got some Kool-Aid and cookies ready. So we go up and sit down and have Kool-Aid and cookies, listen to her stories for a while. I love talking to old people. Hey, Liz, welcome in.
Hi, Liz. Welcome in.
And as I say that, I realize that I'm the old people now.
Right.
She taught us all about homemade soap, making homemade. She was in her mid 80s and still made her own soap in her backyard. Had a big old copper kettle that she used. And when we would go hunting, especially during squirrel season, she's like, oh, you're going squirrel hunting. I was like, yeah, you want us to grab, get you a couple of squirrels? She said, I only want the brains. And I was like, okay. Yep, that's all she ate out of the squirrel was the brain. I was like, okay. Each their own.
Right.
We'll keep eating anything's brain.
Why won't you go in?
That she washed in a wash basin. Yay, good job. She would not take, she had a bathtub. She had running water. She had a really good well. But she would not take a bath. And since she stopped taking a bath, she poured kitty litter in her bathtub and let the cat use it as a litter box. I mean, she kept it clean and everything and changed it out. But yeah, she used her bathtub for a kitty litter box. I was like,
She didn't take baths anymore?
she bathed in a with a pitcher and bowl, the old timey washstand.
Okay.
That's how she grew up washing. She didn't grow up washing, having a bathroom or anything to take a bathroom. And yep, that's what she did. Her kids got all over her.
I bet.
They're like, Mom, you have a perfectly good bath. I don't want a bathtub. I will wash you. And I mean, she never smelled bad or anything. She is
Right.
making sheep, Liz.
I'm making sheep.
Good job. Yay. I don't know what he did, but he was proud of it.
Okay, they're kind of weird looking. Oh, well. Okay, now we're going to put the head on. So, and this is the big one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it ready because we need to put the eyes on it. Oh, wait, no, this isn't the big one. This is one of the smaller ones. Okay. All right. And I don't think I need this quite as long as it is. But we do need to put the eyes on.
Thought you were going to use the big eyes on that one.
No, this is the small one. This isn't a big one. This is the small one. Or is it?
No, you just
No. This is the small one. Because the big one is blue. The body's blue. The small one's body is green. Huh?
You need to make the nose bigger. Sheep have a big nose.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I shouldn't have said anything. It's your sheep.
No, it's okay. So, after I put the head on, I've got mismatched legs. What the heck? That leg is too short. I gotta pull it out and redo it. I had one leg that was too small. And
That's why it was sitting wonky.
Yeah, I accidentally made one leg that was too short, and
of course that's the one you grabbed.
And that was the one.
Good job, yay! I know what that one was over. Oh, that meant he poured himself a cup of juice without spilling it on the counter.
Oh, that's good.
We had a long conversation today. I was like, if we spill, here's the dishcloth. You just take it and wipe it up.
Right.
He stood there for the longest time just holding that dishcloth looking at me. I said, lift your hand, put it on top of the counter, and clean. And he did it. He's just going to make a mess. I said, the first couple of times, yes, he's just going to make a mess. I said, but first we have to get him in a habit of it. Then we'll teach him how to do it correctly.
Okay. That's much better.
Slow and steady, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I can probably put some of the black
what is such a good job? What are you doing?
I could put some of the black yarn on this underneath the head.
And make it, give it a neck.
Mm-hmm. He looks weird and funny. Oh well. Now we got to do the ears. Oh, and I didn't put the sharp ends down. Oh no, only one of them, of the ears.
Well, pre-poke the outer part. It should go through the rest of it.
Oh, well, yeah, well, I'll poke it with the sharp end. A little long, I gotta trim them. That was long. They don't need to be that long. Okay, you're not going to be that way. Oh, it's trying to turn its head. I'm going to have to glue it.
Reinforce that after you get when you start doing the neck part.
Yeah. You silly little guy. Okay. You can see him? He's got his head tilted. He doesn't want
to pull it out and restick it. If there's that, because that's a lot of a twist. Is it just on one skewer or two?
Just one.
Might have to do two. That might be the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just give him personality.
True. There, I got him. Okay, now I'm going to put some more of this yarn to cover up the end so that you can't see the you can't see the green. Hi, Mary. Welcome in. Okay. That sheep is finished. Other than I might go back and add some more of the black yarn just to kind of puff it up some, because he looks awfully skinny. But that's one that's done. And then we'll start the other one, the next one.
Hi, Mary. Welcome in.
There we go. Okay. So now this one is a big one. He's much fatter. And he's getting gonna be white.
Hey, Jim, welcome in.
Hey Jim, welcome in.
Yeah, I told when they were changing my swapping the tires out, they called me, and I thought, wow, they got that done quick. They're like, your brake, and I was like, yeah, I know, they're almost down to bare metal. I'm getting them changed this week, and he's like, oh, okay, as long as you know. And
Right.
I'll call you when we're done. So I told Bill when he got up, and I said, they said my brakes are down to almost bare metal. I said, like, I've been telling you for like 2 months. And he goes, oh, it's fine. Well, then he got mad because I called the kids and I said, I want the baby this weekend, but y'all going to have to drop her off and pick her up if I don't get the car fixed. I said, because I'm not putting her in the car. And
Right.
he's like, oh, it's not a big deal. I said, I can put our life in danger. I said, but I'm not putting her life in danger. Because I have to go across the bridge with her. It's very tall, very steep bridge on either side.
Right.
And traffic is always heavy through there. And on the other side is a railroad crossing. I'm not going to chance it.
Right.
Brakes are kind of important.
Well, are you gonna go ahead and get him done then?
Mm. Oh,
Huh?
yeah. I told him, I said, I have given you chance after chance to get on this. I said, now it's my turn. So I'm going to go to Vance, tell him, I was like, because I know the guy at Vance. I said, come out here, look at the car. You can find the date and everything we need. And I said, I need brake shoes all the way around. And then I'll take it down and see when Hubie can get me in.
Right.
So I love Hubie's garage. But I told Bill, I said, you don't drive, so you don't realize the importance of being able to stop when you need to.
Right. Well, he doesn't drive.
Right, and that's why I told him. I said, so it's not you who have somebody else's life in your hands. I am. And if I took
Right.
somebody in a car and substandard brakes and something happened, I would always blame myself.
Well, you could actually go to jail for it.
Yeah. And so I told him I have to get the car inspected. They have to be done anyway, because that car is not going to, those brakes are not going to pass inspection. But he
Right.
always waits to the last minute to get everything done. And I was like, we could do one thing each month. And I said, then we don't have to scramble. But no, he can't do it that way. Same way with Christmas. I like to do Christmas all year long, buy things up. He likes to
Right.
wait to shop for the last minute, knowing how much I hate shopping.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it should be fun. And I was like, not for me. I said, I am not a shopping person. And Renee looks at him. She goes, how long y'all been married?
Right.
He's like, what's that supposed to mean? She said, you don't even realize how much she really, truly hates shopping.
Right.
I didn't like shopping. And I absolutely, positively loathe malls.
You what?
I loathe malls. We only have one left in this area. And I probably have been to that mall. Oh, God. When Renee's daughter graduated high school Andrew was born. So I think she graduated in 91, 92. That was the last time I was at the mall.
Yeah, we don't have very many malls around here, but I used to love going to malls, but
No, I hate malls. I hate shopping.
none. Yeah, I love shopping.
All my friends would be like, "Oh yeah, well we're gonna go hang out at the mall," and I was like, "No, I'll go hang out in the barn. Just it's quieter."
Oh, I went and hung out at the mall. If it wasn't at the beach, I was at the mall.
Well, evidently that's weird.
What's weird?
Sometimes they're like, "You're gonna lose your woman card if you don't like to shop," and I was like, "I really don't give a crap."
Not all women like to shop.
Uh, you know, probably 90% of the women I know love to shop, and the other 9% are like, yeah, whatever. And then they got that 1% that's like me that absolutely hates it. I shop because I have to shop, not because I want to.
Yeah. Well, Ron is grounded from going to the grocery store with me because I can't stand taking him because he tries to hurry me. In fact, my daughter, when she used to live with me, I told her, I said, "You're not going to the store with me again." And she goes, "Well, I need stuff." I said, "Then you can get your dad to take you, or I'll sit out in the car, or so I'm not taking. You're not going to the store with me anymore." By then, shortly after that, she got a car, and I'm like, "Yeah, good, because I don't want you going with me anymore." And she didn't. She tried to hurry me along, but then she was slower than. Oh my gosh, she could spend 2 or 3 hours in the grocery store. I'm like, nope,
I
not
have
going
a
to do that.
routine. I can go in. I start on the dairy aisle, work my way across the store. I can do a month's worth of shopping in 30 minutes and be out the
Well,
door.
this is what I do now. I get my shopping done. They do my shopping for me. I put in an order and they do it for me, and I just have to pick it up. But what I do is I go almost an hour earlier or half hour earlier, and then I go in the store and shop for stuff that I like, produce and stuff that I want for myself or whatever. If I need plant supplies or if I need sewing or yarn or anything, clothes, I will go in and do it, and I have time to do it, and nobody's in there bugging me. Ron don't mind shopping. He just, when I'm in there shopping, he tries to hurry me.
Bill's a
Like,
liquor.
don't miss anything. Don't forget anything.
We
And if
would
I do,
literally,
say,
when we first got married, before we had a car, and we would go shopping, his brother would take us. We'd go at the same time as mom did to save on gas.
mm-hmm.
And she would leave to go shopping at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we wouldn't get home till 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yuck.
And I just looked at Bill. I said, it's just not going to work for me."
Yeah.
And he was just like, "What?" And I said, he said, "She's always shopped like." I said, "No." I said, "You don't make a career out of shopping. You go in, you get what you want, and you leave." That's
Right.
But she would go to like 7, 8 different stores, and it took us years to explain to her, by the time you pay for the gas and the wear and tear on your vehicle, you're not saving any money.
Right.
I like how yours clicks in there. Mine doesn't do that.
What?
Your glue sticks, it sounds like it snaps in there. Mine doesn't do that.
It's because it's the SureBonder.
I have to kind of hold mine in there until it starts feeding in, and then you can let go of it.
Yeah, no, I have some that are like that. I have some cordless one. I have a cordless one,
Oh,
and I
I
have
love my
another one.
cordless one.
I would get a cordless Surebonder. The problem is um, the battery dies too quick for me. So I just prefer this one. And this one doesn't drip very much. It drips a little bit, but not very much.
Now, I've got one that plugs in, and I've got the cord. I like the cordless ones because I have just a little teeny tiny space to work, and I don't like having to fight the cords because I always have to put the cords across my lap because I'm right-handed, and all the outlets are on the left side.
I have outlets. I have an outlet on my. I have outlets on my table. I have outlets underneath the table, um, on this side, and then I have another one on the side of the leg. I have strips because I need lots of outlets. So I have so many things plugged
This
in.
house is very lacking in electrical outlets.
What?
It's very lacking in electrical outlets.
So is mine. These are all ran off of two plugs.
Power
It's
strips, yeah.
literally in this whole room. I only have two plugs. Period. Two plugs. One over there and one over here. And over there, I have my Cricket. The only thing that's plugged into it.
I told
Um,
him, I said, if we ever win the lottery and I get to build my own dream house, he said, yeah. I said, there's going to be outlets every 6 feet.
right.
I
Well,
said, there's going to be
new
overhead
houses, you
lighting
are
in
supposed
every
to.
room. That's the only thing. I love this house. I love my home. I hate it because there is no overhead lighting in the living room.
Yeah, Ron hates overhead lighting, but we have it, and we don't turn it on very often. But it's there if I need it.
I like overhead lighting when I'm cleaning.
Ron
It
hates overhead
just
lighting.
makes it easier to clean. You can see everything. And in here, uh, you have to open the doors and pull the curtains back and then turn on the lamps in order to
Mm-hmm.
have enough light to make sure you're getting where you need to get.
Right. I
If
have my overhead in here on right now, plus my ring lights. But in the living room, we don't turn it on very often, but we have two wall lights, sconces, and then I have two lamps, and we turn those on. But if I need the overhead, I can turn it on.
Well, my bathrooms don't even have overhead lighting.
I have pocket lights in my bathroom.
They just have the bulbs over the mirror, which is fine if you're in front of the mirror, but doesn't help the rest of the room much.
Yeah. Well, I have two pocket lights, recessed lights, in my bathroom, and I have another light that has a fan on it over the tub.
I would like to have. Now, there's two overhead lights in the kitchen and one over the sink. So there's plenty of lighting in the kitchen, which is wonderful. I love that. But the rest of the house, there's the light. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't.
Yeah.
Obviously was not thinking about anything besides living in the house.
Right.
And the people who owned this before us, she was a model and he was a firefighter. He said they were only here 2 days a month
Hmm.
because she would be out of town on photo shoots and he would just stay at the firehouse. He said
Right.
he would come back twice a month just to mow the grass. That's why they was looking to sell it because they were never here.
Right.
When we moved in, it was 7 years old when we bought it. The stove had never been turned on. The refrigerator only held beer and water.
Hmm.
And the shower in the master bath is the only part of the bathrooms that was used other than the commodes. And I was sitting there going like, okay. Wasn't even any marks in the carpet where furniture had been.
Huh.
And I'm like, how can you own a house and not live in it? What's the point?
I'm starting to notice I'm seeing blue.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to
Double wrap
I'm
that
going to go
one.
back. Well, I'm not going to wrap it completely, but I'm going to like crosswise it or something. I don't know. I'm going to do something because, and I have plenty of yarn for it. So.
You might have wanted to like spray paint them white before you did the wrapping, and that way it wouldn't have showed through so much.
Do you know how much the pain in the butt the legs were? I didn't want to do that. They were horrible to do.
Just hang them from a coat hanger in a tree.
Huh?
Just hang them on a coat hanger from a tree.
Yeah.
And Bill's mad where we got that solid week of rain. The corn rotted in the ground, so he had to replant the corn today. So he was not happy. He said it didn't look like anything else was harmed.
So if anybody is wondering, I'm making this the sheet for VBS. And I still have some more woolly aphids to make, but I'm not going to do it on a live. I'll just do them in a, do all the bodies all at the same time. And
you should do like a montage before you take them to the church.
Huh?
Do like a montage video of them.
Yeah.
When you get them all done.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have only a month, just over a month, till VBS. Because on the 1st of July is when I go to get my grandson, and VBS starts on the 6th. So. And get this, his brother, who has a different mom, his mom lives in Colorado. And she was always set against his dad having him for any period of time. And so a couple of years ago, after she moved to Colorado, Andrew's like, well, I want him during the summer, and I want him every other Christmas, and so she agreed to that. And then a year and a half ago, she was going to be sending him for Christmas, and she called them and said, I can't keep him anymore. Are you willing to take him full time? And he's like, yes, that's what they've been wanting, because she's not a good mom at all. And so she goes, well, when I send him for Christmas, you guys will keep him. And so they're like, okay, but you're giving us his child support card because you're not. And she's like, but I need that money. And he's like,
No, they wouldn't let her.
I
She didn't have him.
She's like, he goes, I'll go to the state and I'll let him know that you no longer have him and I will have custody of him. And she goes, okay, I'll send it. So she did. So they have the card. So the money comes out of their bank and then goes on to the cards that they use. So they had him all last year from Christmas time until last summer. He went to Colorado for 4 weeks. And they found out after he came back that when she was at work, he was by himself all day, by himself in an apartment and in one room because she could only rent a 12 feet by 12 foot room is what she rented. And he had to share a bed with her, which at that time was okay, but he's getting older now.
Yep.
He's almost 13 or almost 12. And yeah, he'll be 12 this month in a few weeks. So when he got back, he didn't say a whole lot. He goes, oh, it's so weird. I feel like I'm an only child and now I have to share everything with my brother. And she goes, what do you mean? And he goes, well, I'm always by myself and it's just me and I'm used to it. And she's like, what do you mean you're always by yourself? And she goes, well, he goes, when my mom works, I'm by myself. And she goes, you don't have a sitter watching you? He goes, I've never had a sitter. When they used to live with her family, there was people in the house, but nobody really watching him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So then Christmas time came around and he was supposed to go to his mom's house for Christmas. And in October, she called him and she goes, you're not coming for Christmas. And he was so upset because he wasn't going to get to see his mom for Christmas. So he didn't go. He stayed there. And she didn't send him any presents. She goes, I'll give you your presents to you when you come out this summer. So he didn't get his Christmas presents this last Christmas. And now, a couple days ago, he calls my daughter mom, even though she's only his stepmom.
Yeah.
And he came up to her and he was giving her a hug and he goes, Mom? And she goes, what? And he goes, I don't want to go see my mom. And in Colorado, and he has to because she's already bought the ticket. But she's like, why? And he goes, I don't like being alone. I like being here with my family. And I told her when she told me, I says, I told you this was going to happen. He was going to start realizing that his life with you guys is better than with her. And she always wanted him to be a baby. She never wanted him to learn how to do anything.
Well, yeah, because then she wouldn't have to mess with him.
Huh?
She wouldn't have to mess with him.
Right. Well, no. She didn't want him doing anything for himself. She wanted to do everything for him. So when he was, one time when he was 8 years old, I think he was 8 or 9. No, he was 9. She had called to talk to him and Ashley said, just a minute, he's getting himself a drink. And she goes, he's what? And she goes, he's getting himself a drink. And she goes, well, is it a sippy cup? And she's like, no, he's 8 years old. And she goes, oh, no, he's my baby. You can't do that. And she goes, he's not a baby. And he does stuff for himself. She goes, he does his own laundry here. What? She's like, and they're like, you're crazy, lady. When they started getting him, his mom got mad at Andrew when he was born. and or when he was a baby, and she wouldn't let him see him for a year. And when Ashley and Andrew got married, um, he's like, he contacted her and he goes, I'm done with this. I proved I was his father. He went to the place to do child support, and he had to take his DNA test to prove he was his father. And he goes, I will start seeing my son. You're not going to keep him from me. And by then, there was nothing she could do. So he started coming to our house just before he turned 2. He didn't know how to feed himself. Ashley gave him food, and he just sat there and looked at her. And I said, pick up your spoon and eat, buddy. And he just looked at us. And I'm like, what is going on? So Ashley called his mother, and she goes, oh, no. Do not let him feed himself. He makes too big of a mess. I feed him. And when she got off the phone and told me that, I said, bull crap. And I walked over and I grabbed that spoon and I put it in his hand and I said, eat. And he's kind of looked at me and he made a huge mess. So what? That's what kids do. That's what kids do. They make messes. So what?
Just to make it easier on me, when the boys were in the high chair learning to feed themselves, I put a shower curtain out on the floor underneath their high chair. Because I could just drag it out in the yard, and hose it off, hang it up, let it drip dry, and be ready for the next meal.
Right. Well, I just like, no. You teach. It's part of growing up. Learn how to take care of yourself.
Yep.
He's really behind anyway. She was taking psych meds when she was pregnant with him, which has damaged him. He has a lot of issues. He's on medication and stuff for it. And I'm like, you did a huge injustice to that kid. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
Many of them like that.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to just. I had to put some on this bottom part, but I'm going to cover that anyway, the back part. But I'm going to cover. Actually, I'm going to use that as the front. Use this as the back. Finish covering it and then randomly go around it. So I know you guys can't really see a whole lot of what I'm doing because it's so big.
Yeah, exactly, Mary. And then, let them make a mess.
Right.
I mean, I thought it was hilarious when my kids was making a mess when they was learning to feed themselves.
The thing is a child learning how to feed themselves, that is how they develop. That's how they develop their motor skills. I mean, it's not a joke. It's really something they need to do. See, my little brother, when he was little, he never crawled. He went straight from rolling to pulling himself up and walking, and he never crawled. And he was having problems with his fine motor skills. And when he got to school, and my mom took him, they asked what, was going on. Was he okay? Something wrong with him? She's like, no. Well, she talked to the doctor, and the doctor said, he needs to get down on the floor and crawl around. And she goes, he's 5 years old. And they said, get him down on the ground playing with some stuff. And that will do it. And she's like, but he's 5. And they said, it doesn't matter. Even at 5 years old, if he does it now, he'll still get the benefit from it. They need to do stuff for their development. That's all there's to it. So, okay, the back is done. Now, I am just going to randomly wrap this around to cover up all of that blue. And he'll make him woollier.
Yes.
I may go back and do that with the black one too. Because then he won't be so sleek.
See,
It'll look like you need to.
She should have experienced Andrew eating spaghetti the first time with that white blonde hair. I had to wash his hair 4 times before it stopped being orange. Because the tomato sauce turned his hair orange.
Yeah. Jessica, when we had mashed potatoes, she would rub it in her hair. Like
Andrew, when he was done eating, would put his bowl on his head.
Yeah.
Even if it still had food in it.
Yeah. See, this looks better.
You's not fat, you's fluffy.
Right. He's a fluffy. Oop, don't stand on the ground. You're white. Floor is not clean. This is my craft room. Keeping it clean is a joke. The floor.
I keep my floor clean-ish.
Well, this room is very, very full. I have lots and lots of stuff. And I choose not to sweep it all the time. At least it doesn't have carpet.
This house is super dusty. That's why I like my laminate, because I can go through the house with a dust mop. Like,
well, I have
every other.
I have hardwood. Right, I have hardwood floors in most of the house here, and it's hardwood floor in here. But I've got shelves and tables and everything sitting around, so I don't really have room for. I mean, I do sweep it, but I just don't sweep it very often. Ooh, this is cute. So he's nice and full. And I don't see hardly any blue.
Except on the end.
Huh?
Except on the end.
Well, that I'm going to do that after I put the head on. Yeah, like I did the other one. And I have still plenty. So, yep. Actually, maybe I'll put the head on this end and cover that one. No, I'll do the other one. I stuck it in first. I got to do the legs too. But it's 9:04, so we're going to call it a night. I think I knocked eyes on the floor. Did I? Okay, there's the 2 big eyes. No, I didn't. They're right here. And this one is this kind of football. So it's spiraled because they only had 2 of the other one. So I had to get that one. But I think I'm going to call it a night. I will be live this Thursday, of course. Painting. Don't know what I'm painting yet. I have an idea, but I haven't decided for sure. But I'm going to call it a night. And I'm going to wrap that other one so he doesn't look so skinny. He looks like he's been shaved, which I guess isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, sheared sheep.
Huh?
A sheared sheep.
Yeah, he looks like a sheared sheep. Let me go like that. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Did the same thing. I don't use cheap flannel black. Oh yeah, that worked too. For me, I didn't do it. I just had linoleum, and I just let them make a huge mess, and then I would just clean it up after. Because my kids, especially Jessica, she threw her food around. She was a messy baby, and she would rub the mashed potatoes in her hair, and so when she got done, she went in the bath every day after she ate, 3 times a day sometimes,
I used to
just
tease
to get her.
people like, "What do you do after dinner?" I said, "Drag them out in the front yard and hose them off. Let them run around till they dry."
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming, and I will see you guys hopefully all on Thursday. Bye, guys. Thanks, Annie, for being here.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.